Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. Okay, for today's video, I'm filming it from home instead of my studio because I'm actually filming this at 3:15 a.m. in the morning. So please forgive me if I am a bit disoriented. I just got up at 2 a.m. earlier. Okay, so with the topic for today, before we discuss it any further, I'm going to bring you guys over to Twitter or X, as there is this incident happening in China. So this is a post originating from this guy called X Heron21, I think Japanese. Okay, and if we translate this post over here, the Chinese government has started regulating figurines, production and sale of figures, and GK for adults is prohibited. Violators will be fined. Production sales quantity multiplied by 50, right? Okay, so for every single figure they sold, the fine is that amount and multiplied by 50. So this is no small joke over here. And then when we scroll down over here, there is a video over here. This is actually from China. More like a news report from their social media, I suppose. And we'll take a look at this video over here, right? Okay, let's play it. These are two exposed. Okay, so part of the problem with these figures is they are widely sold online, especially in Taobao. I've seen a lot of them myself, and there is one huge issue over here, at least for the recommended age. For that particular product, they list it as 7 to 14 years old, which the government thinks is very inappropriate. Apparently, this is one of the officers of figure brands, third-party figure brands. That is what I'm guessing over here. And like they are trying to categorize which figures the government won't care and which they might take action over it. Oh, I think this is a figure store in China actually, and they were being interviewed maybe by authorities like, where did these figures come from? And where do you get these stocks from? And then the shop owner was like, well, we only sell them, and there are factories out there inside China itself which are responsible for producing it. And when the authorities ask, do you know where are the factories? They said they have no idea because the locations of the manufacturers for these third-party resin figures, they are often very obscure, very well hidden. It is not easy to find them. And that has always been the case because there are many third-party factories outside where they don't even have a social media page, right? With the exception of large brands like Dodomo Studio, they are already well known at this point. Yeah, they have their own Facebook page and so on. And Nipipi Studio, I think they have their own Twitter page. But most of the third-party resin figure brands out there, they don't have any social media representation, no after-sales service, right? No after-sales service and so on. So naturally, a lot of us outside of China, when we want to buy stuff like this, yeah, this is the one thing we need to be aware of. They don't represent themselves online, and there is basically no after sales service at all because yeah, they know what they are doing is actually against the law in China, and they are trying to keep a low profile, right? The authorities asked, can you introduce me one of the studios behind these figures? And then the shop owner replied that if you are not very familiar with them, very well acquainted, they will not even let you visit their factories. Yeah. Most of these figures, they are based on characters from animation from other countries, which in this case mostly Japan, and they do a huge modification on these figures, and the most popular feature is being able to cast it off. That is couture. Trying to find the manufacturers behind these figures are not easy. Yeah. This is the biggest problem over here because this city over here that is being circled, that is where the main warehouse for everything that is shipped or purchased on Taobao will go to. This is the international warehouse where all these parcels will be redirected overseas, like for people on Earth who buy from Taobao. And I do have a concern over here given that I do have figure pre-orders, third parties, and yeah, kind of built ones that is kind of being caught in the crossfire at the moment. So I'm not really sure what to think. I even had one figure by Imagination Studio already fully paid, and it is supposed to be shipped out within this month, which is bad timing. I hope nothing happens to that figure really. They actually inspected parcels containing anime figures, and then they trace it back to the center and try to locate the factories that are manufacturing this stuff, right? They're actually hunting down and checking parcels, where we'll get to a screenshot later on. And unfortunately, this video that is being posted here on Twitter is only 2 minutes in length. I think the full video is way longer than this. So that is all we get to watch over here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you guys more screenshots over here, some of them which you may have never seen, because on this Twitter post, there are only 4 pictures right here, right? Okay. Only 2 pictures posted over here. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you guys more screenshot. Alright, so now we take a look at the pictures I managed to get my hands on over here. So here the first one, this is a messaging service. I'm not sure if this is, must be one of the messaging apps in China. So down there it is mentioned that there is this shipping company or courier who told this guy A0 that he is not allowed to ship this item, this parcel over here. And then the person Novel Bright replied, is it real? Yeah. They told me they won't accept these parcels, and the content of that parcel contains lewd figures. And then there is this screenshot over here. I'm not sure if the guy posting this is just reporting a news or he is from the authorities, because what he is saying is, first we need to trace the origin for 3 years to check whether the factory has done KO. If so, go in first. Then there is the rectification of blind boxes, no gacha, blind boxes, from placing one hidden in every 48th box to one in every 36th box. All toys and action figures packaging must have production cost clearly marked and inspected regularly. Trendy toy manufacturers are required to register on the day of shipment and are prohibited from raising prices within 3 months from the day of shipment. Those who have produced and sold soft pornographic and pornographic figures and toys within 3 years will be fined based on the number of shipments multiplied by 50 times the amount. And then over here, this is exactly what happened. This guy over here, he went to ship a figure, and when he was at the postal company, the postal company were instructed by authorities to open up big boxes containing anime figures, like open up everything, and then they want to inspect the content and take pictures of it. So since the authorities now are unable to trace the location of most of the garage kit makers, like where is their factories and so on, right? They are targeting all the courier, those who do the shipping, right? So whichever courier or shipping company who receive parcels containing figures, they need to inspect the content. This is insane indeed, because yeah, they are just exploring every single way they could think of to get to these figures. Yeah, and here we have a clearer picture of presumably a guy working at a shipping company opening the parcels sent in by customers, right? Yeah, some of us living outside of China, this is something extremely foreign to us. This is a very new concept. Like, some of us will regard this as an invasion of personal privacy, but we all know how much privacy there is for the regular mainland Chinese, right? Okay, and then next one over here. Okay, the next few pictures, right? If you open Taobao and then you search for lewd figures, anime figures, doesn't matter whether it is third party or genuine ones, you often get listings like this. I've seen them myself, right? So for example, they're taking pre-orders for this anime figure. They won't even put the product pictures on the listing. They will do some random sketch and post it this way. And this is very common. Yeah. Okay, and then the next one over here. Okay. Oh, this is just a witty comment from someone commenting on the news, like, okay. And then here is an example of a product listing in Taobao where this is a Bandai DX, Banpresto DX figure, right? Something from One Piece, right? One Piece. And you see, they had to blacken out the entire figure this way, just to avoid attracting the attention of, number one, the administrators and moderators in Taobao, and number two, the authorities, right? Since the authorities couldn't find the manufacturers, they are making Taobao, making any online website who sell these figures, who host merchants that sell this stuff, to take action. That is the problem over here. Yeah, more examples. The next one here, okay, this must be a group chat within, could be within the Taobao app, or it could be WeChat. I think this is within the Taobao app. Okay, and the shop owner, 9月 GK, okay, the shop owner, he is announcing that if, okay, I'll just show you guys a translation over here. It is a lot easier. Okay, let me enlarge this. Okay, so this is a good translation by Google. Everyone who purchases our products needs to hold up his ID card and record a video shouting that I am 20 plus years old. I am an adult and voluntarily purchase XX Studio and XX products. It has nothing to do with Taobao stores and assumes all legal responsibilities. If you are a minor, please remember to ask your parents to sign and record a video. I will check it tonight. Thank you for cooperation. And yeah, all the weird responses beneath, they are confused, but yeah. Okay, and then, oh, this one, I forgot to translate this one right here. Let me see. Okay, so this is a group chat of another seller in Taobao. I think this is a WeChat group chat. So anyone who is underage, if you have purchased a figure from our shop, we are willing to refund everything to you. Please contact our shop and let us all know your Taobao ID. Okay, the next screenshot over here, I'm not sure if this is posted by a seller or the buyer. This looks like the feedback or product review section in a shopping app in Taobao, right? So you go to Amazon and buy something and then you can write a product review, same thing. And what this guy bought, a Vibra Star figure. Vibra Star is genuine stuff, Japanese. And the one on the right is something by GS Studio, I'm not too sure. Looks like a Blue Archive figure, Kisaki, I think. Okay, so what he said was that the seller did an excellent job in packaging the figure. It is so well protected that if he threw the parcel from a third floor down to bottom, the figure probably wouldn't break. But despite all the protection on the packaging, the figure arrives completely broken in multiple parts. And this has to be because of the inspection process either by the authorities or by the postal companies, like what I showed you guys earlier. You put the parcel, you send the parcel in, and the courier company, they'll open up and inspect everything, and they were way too rough with the figure, and the figure ended up broken with multiple parts and nobody cares about it. Like, it is not the seller's fault, also not the buyer's fault. Who is going to take responsibility for this, right? And I think this is the most frustrating thing I've seen all day today. Like the postage company, we are all familiar with this, right? You spent a lot of money on a figure. The seller did a good job packing up everything, only for the courier or the postal company to screw you over. And that is exactly what happens over here. So this is really upsetting to see. Okay, and then this is from an app called Xianyi, salted fish, right? Okay, so Xianyi is basically an app that is built within Taobao itself, which allows private sellers to sell pre-owned stuff. So if you are looking to buy pre-owned figures, like Ami pre-owned section in Taobao, there is Xianyi, where you buy pre-owned figures. So here we have someone who is buying or selling an Astrum design figure, which is a licensed genuine figure, but it is a Chinese brand. They received a warning from the moderators of Xianyi app saying that what they are selling is illegal in China because of its pornographic nature. Yeah. And here's another. I have a translation over here. Yeah. Dear member, we have verified that the product you posted involves the risk of being banned from gentleman figures. For detailed rules, please refer to the website Xianyi community information. And then, yeah, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, it is too pornographic to be sold on Xianyi. And then here we have another one, a garage kit receiving the same warning on Xianyi, right? That is Wonder Festival 2022 as could be a recast, right? There is no way a figure from Wonder Festival almost 2 years ago to be available for sale. Yes, this one right here. So look at this figure on the right over here. This is not nude. Technically, it is not nude at all, just that she is quite exposed, a lot of skin being exposed, and that is enough to trigger a warning and a potential ban from Xianyi. Okay. And I think that is all of the screenshots I have at the moment, which is way more than what you guys saw over at Twitter earlier. And if you were to ask me which are the two most upsetting things I've seen over here, it is this picture of postman or the courier company opening up your parcels whenever they please and risk breaking it, which happened to this one person over here. This is really sad to see. So the big question right here, how is this going to affect us outside of China? From the looks of it, so far, a lot of the incidents I've seen, or the news I've seen online was that like most of them involved third-party resin figures, which are Chinese brands made in China itself. But the problem here is that a lot of Japanese figures, in fact, most of the genuine Japanese figures, even native, Skytube, and so on, they are all made in China. What will happen now? Do they have to cease their operations? They cannot make lewd figures anymore in China? And based on what some people have told me, those who have pre-ordered figures from China, there are multiple figures out there which has been delayed indefinitely. For example, if the figure is coming out in April next year, then it could be delayed by at least another half a year. That is what happened to some figures, not all. And then there are also speculations from some collectors out there where these third-party figure companies, they are rushing to modify their existing figures so that they can remove all the lewd parts. And then, for example, you buy a third-party figure, Genshin figure, or you buy a Blue Archive figure, which is the lewd one, and then more than often you get to buy the standard version and the deluxe version, right? And the deluxe version is normally the lewd ones. They're going to remove that. So you could only buy the standard version. That is one option. And I think the third-party GK companies are lucky in this sense that those are just additional bonus parts, right? They don't really affect the main figure, the standard version. So if you're going for the deluxe version, yeah, I think you'll be receiving the figure with less parts. And in that regard, there is this one figure I pre-ordered, right? I went for the deluxe version, which I think the main default version of the standard figure should be fine, but the thing is I paid full amount for the deluxe version, and I don't know if I'm going to receive everything in the box or not. That is my main concern now. Okay. The question I have for you guys right now is that if you have pre-ordered third-party resin figures or you have even paid in full for them and just awaiting them to be shipped out, are you concerned by this latest incident in China? For me, if they were to remove the nude parts from the figure, I'm fine with that. Like, it is better than not getting the figure at all after paying for it. My actual concern is like that inspection picture over here. This one, where they open my parcel, they check for things, and then they end up breaking something. This is actually my major concern, rather than the nude parts which are being removed from the figure. This is my biggest fear over here. And what do you think these figure companies can do to avoid the same thing from happening again? They could relocate to Hong Kong or Taiwan. At least they are manufacturing their factory. And if that actually happens, yes, it is going to increase the cost of these figures further. These are not cheap figures. They can go for up to thousands of dollars for those 1x4 scales. And if they relocate elsewhere, it is going to make these figures way more expensive, guaranteed, right? Hong Kong may be under China, but they have a different set of rules. And this is another problem. We don't know if China will try to increase their grip on Hong Kong. I wouldn't like to discuss about politics on this channel, but I think at this point it is inevitable with this specific incident over here, right? If you go to Hong Kong, you can find lewd magazines, like Playboy magazines selling in their stores, right? It's common over there, but I don't know if anything has changed in the recent years. The rules over there are way more lax than in mainland China itself. They are more open in general. And the same can be said of Taiwan, but Taiwan is a separate country altogether. And then I think these third-party figure companies could also relocate to places like Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam is a thriving manufacturing hub nowadays, but I'm not very familiar with laws in Vietnam, like whether things like these are even allowed over there. If you are a Vietnamese, let me know in the comments below. Are lewd figures or even pornographic stuff allowed in the country? Yeah. And also Thailand. Yeah, they could manufacture this in Thailand. In Thailand, prostitution is kind of legal, right? I think so. So Thailand could be a safer place to relocate to, but yeah, it is going to increase the price of figures for sure. Okay, and I really am not sure what to say now. Yeah, my brain is still barely functioning. I'm not really a morning kind of person. So in the end, I would say let me know down in the comments below what you think about this incident over here. Will this be something one-off, or the authorities is going to be very persistent and repeatedly checking for these things very regularly in the future? And that would be a problem. I suppose that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm not sure if you can enjoy something like this, but if you found this video informative or helpful, yeah, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and please subscribe to this channel for more anime figure news and reviews in the future. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. And yeah, goodbye.